Hey everyone, it's George from Blockchain DXB and today is the 30th of December 2024. Unfortunately guys, the price of Bitcoin on the global cryptocurrency market, it is not kind of the best at the moment and looks like the price of Bitcoin will not be reaching a new all-time high as the year end. But look guys, it is really important to note that in 2024 President Donald Trump will be sworn in, and keeping that thing in mind, I do think that things are definitely looking good and promising, not just for the price of Bitcoin guys, but also for the global cryptocurrency market. And also when you talk about at a geopolitical level, there might be a lot of peace, and that will directly and indirectly impact the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies in a positive way. Now there are two metrics I would always recommend you guys to keep a track on. The first one is the volume of stable coins, and then we need to compare this with the 24-hour trading volume, and that gives us an indication as to which direction the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies will be heading towards. So in today's episode, we'll definitely take a global cryptocurrency snapshot. And after that guys, we are going to be discussing some really interesting news regarding Bitcoin. Now the first news is regarding Bitcoin with covenants, and looks like some Ethereum maximalists and now Bitcoin advocates, they want to go ahead and make Bitcoin magical again, and looks like they want to go ahead and add covenants onto Bitcoin. Now the only reason why this is possible guys is because Bitcoin did have an upgrade, and now instead of using ECDSA, Bitcoin is using Taproot and Snow Signature. Now this news guys is more connected to Taproot and Taproot Wizards, which is founded by Rick Wall, Udi Worthme, as well as Francisco Alcron. They want to go ahead and add covenants onto Bitcoin. So what I'll do guys in today's episode, I'll go ahead and explain what covenants are, and then I'll go ahead and share the positives and negatives of this. Now it's really important to understand guys that these guys are working on something which Satoshi Nakamoto wanted to implement on Bitcoin, and that is OP_CAT protocol. So we'll definitely go ahead and take a deep dive into this. Now I'll try to make it as simple as possible guys, so even if you do not have any technical information, you truly understand what I'm talking about. Now the second news regarding Bitcoin is more connected to ETF and Bitwise. They have filed for approval to launch the Bitcoin Standard Corporation ETF, and this ETF guys will be tracking performance of companies that hold over 1000 Bitcoin as a reserve asset. So I'll go ahead and give out more information regarding this. Now the next news guys I'm going to be talking about has to do with an individual from South Korea, and if you're in the cryptocurrency and stablecoin game guys, you should know who Do Kwon is. And unfortunately guys, his project, that is Terra Luna, did actually have a very negative impact not just on the stablecoin world, but also in the cryptocurrency and Bitcoin world as well. And looks like Do Kwon will be extradited to United States of America. So I'll go ahead and share more information regarding this. Now the final news, I hope it could have ended in a positive way, and this is to do with meme coins. Now look guys, in the month of December, meme coins definitely saw massive hikes, but at the same time it recorded massive downfalls as well, and meme coins market cap in December did actually surge to $137 billion, but it has actually dropped down to $92 billion, which just means guys that some people have actually lost $40 billion. At the same time guys, there are some really interesting metrics, and looks like one investor who did actually invest $3,000 did actually profit by making $46 million. So I'll definitely go ahead and run through some numbers regarding meme coins as well. So there is always some drama and activity going on in the meme coin world, isn't it? So quite a lot of cover guys in today's episode, and like we do in every Crypto and Coffee a Day series, we will be looking at two news from Dubai, UAE and the Middle East. Now the first news guys is connected to artificial intelligence, and this is more to do with ESG and Environmental Agency in Abu Dhabi guys. They are partnered with Nabat, and they will be using artificial intelligence technology, and that will be used to conserve and restore mangroves in the Emirates. So really interesting development in my opinion. Now the second news also has to do with artificial intelligence and our ESG accelerator. They've expanded into Middle East, and they're having a partnership with Abu Dhabi Entity Establishment. So I'll go ahead and give out more information regarding this. So quite a lot of cover guys in today's episode. Let's kickstart with it right away. Thank you to our sponsors for being part of the Blockchain DXB journey. Firstly, Advanced Media. Advanced Media guys is the largest distributor of professional video, photo, broadcast and cinematic equipment and accessories in the Middle East and MENA region. With over 2 decades of experience, Advanced Media is now the largest distributor in the Middle East, representing more than 100 recognizable brands, including brands such as Zeiss, DJI, Hasselblad, Red and Rode. As a matter of fact guys, the very mic that I'm recording is being sponsored by Advanced Media as well, and Advanced Media has showrooms in Saudi Arabia and services as well. Looks like they're definitely taking the Middle East by storm, and here's the beautiful thing guys, they're taking corporate social responsibility very seriously, and they're focusing on 3 P's: That is people, planet, and prosperity. Now listen guys, if you do want to find out more information regarding the statement of corporate social responsibility, check out the website, that is www.amt.tv. And here's the beautiful thing guys, they also want to be a leader and set an example and reputation as a pioneer and member of the community. And in doing so guys, they also have an AMT scholarship with SAE Institute in Dubai, UAE. So definitely check it out. And also guys, Advanced Media is committed to persistently developing, organizing and hosting training workshops, seminars and community events that educate, inform and familiarize consumers with new equipment and the latest technological advances. So listen guys, do one thing. If you do want to support this channel, go to the website, that is www.amt.tv, and follow the social media channels as well. All of the details are in the show notes below. Next, Startup OI is global one-tech platform for tech. It offers global high-paying tech jobs with flexibility in working time and location, global free tech events, and tech networks to connect with global like-minded engineers. A brilliant platform to listen to the tech experts in Metaverse and to grab their insights. Now listen, all you have to do is download the app Startup OI. If you're using an Android version, go to Google Store and App Store for iOS devices. Alternatively, you can also click on the show notes below to download Startup OI. Next, guys, listen, if you're into fitness, if you're into adventure, if you want to do something wild but still want to keep your health in check, there is a new podcast in town, a podcast focusing on obstacle course race in the Middle East. The podcast is called the Race Pace Podcast. So check out the Race Pace Podcast across all leading platforms. And the Race Pace Podcast is a peer-to-peer community-driven podcast where they talk all about obstacle course race in the Middle East, from Sandstorm to Spartan Race, from Tough Mudder to Desert Warrior Challenge, and also the Government Gov Games, and quite a lot more. The podcast has interviews with athletes locally and internationally to get inside scoop on how athletes prepare for obstacle course race. In the podcast, they also talk about interesting stories on why they are motivated to do obstacle course race. And that's not all. They also plan to release 7 NFTs. And these NFTs are no ordinary. These NFTs will represent every emirate in the UAE. And listen guys, these NFTs are going to be absolutely massive. So do one thing, go to Spotify, go to iTunes, go to any leading podcasting platform. Check out the Race Pace Podcast across all leading platforms. And finally guys, not your keys, not your crypto. If you have dabbled with cryptocurrencies and now are seriously getting to protect your cryptocurrencies, there is no better way to protect it by using a hardware wallet. And this is where Ledger Wallet kicks in. And Ledger Wallets are hardware cryptocurrency wallets made by Ledger, a company headquartered in Paris, France. And Ledger's hardware wallets are multi-currency wallets that are used to store private keys for cryptocurrencies offline. And Ledger offers 2 hardware wallets, the Ledger Nano and Ledger Nano X wallets. They are world-class experts with extensive crypto security backgrounds. They continuously look for vulnerabilities in Ledger products in a constant effort to improve the level of security. Now, in today's world, securing these digital assets is a critical challenge, and this is where Ledger kicks in. So click the link below to buy your hardware wallet and support this podcast. It is a brilliant way to support this podcast. So what are you waiting for? The link is in the show notes below. Now guys, since you've taken care of that, let's kickstart by looking at the global cryptocurrency market. Now unfortunately guys, the global cryptocurrency market is down to $3.30 trillion. And since the last 24 hours, it is down by 0.25%. Now if you look at the total cryptocurrency market volume guys, today it is at $78.39 billion. But it is really important to understand guys, I'm looking at these numbers in the early hours of Dubai, and technically it is still Sunday in most of the Western countries. So keeping that thing in mind guys, I'm not too upset with this low number, cause look, prior to President Donald Trump getting re-elected, on an average weekend the 24-hour cryptocurrency market volume used to hover somewhere between the $30 to $40 billion mark, but today's volume is almost double of that. But since the last 24 hours guys, the total cryptocurrency market is down by 22.46%. Now one matrix which has been absolutely disappointing, that is the volume of decentralized finance, and today it is only at $7.82 billion. And DeFi guys, as of today, is accounting for 9.98% of the total crypto market 24-hour volume. And if you look at the total value locked, today it is at $122.85 billion, with Lido still dominating so far as total value locked is concerned. And the total value locked under Lido is $32.79 billion. The decentralized to centralized exchange is kind of looking good, and today it is at 29.78%. Now, if you look at the volume of decentralized exchanges, guys, I really am liking this number, because usually what happens is over the weekend, the volume of decentralized exchange tends to swing a lot, but today the volume of Uniswap is almost at $2 billion. It is at $1.79 billion to be precise. Radium today is at number 2nd, and its 24-hour volume is $1.50 billion, which just means one thing, guys. A lot of activity is actually taking place in Solana. PancakeSwap is at number 3rd, and its 24-hour volume is $1.42 billion. Aerodrome is at number 4th, and its 24-hour volume is $603.11 million. Orca Gas is at number 5th, and its 24-hour volume is $357.97 million. Now let's quickly run through the volume of stablecoins. And as I was saying earlier, guys, because the volume of stablecoin is much higher than the previous weekends, I'm kind of content with what this number is, but I'm really curious to check what this particular matrix reflects on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, and that would give us a very good indication as to which direction the price of Bitcoin will be heading towards in 2025. Now today, guys, that is 30th of December, the volume of stablecoins is at $70.68 billion, and stablecoins as of today is accounting for 90.16% of the total crypto market 24-hour volume, and out of the $70.68 billion, guys, Tether USDT is accounting for $62.89 billion, followed by Circle USDC at $4.15 billion, and FDUSD is at number 3rd. It is at $3.09 billion. Now look, guys, if you actually compare the volume of stablecoins with the month of November, this number is absolutely ridiculous, but if you were to compare the volume of stablecoins with the previous months, I'm kind of content with this number, to be completely honest, and there is a very high possibility, guys, over the next coming days and weeks, the price could potentially be pumping up. But look, guys, as I always say, whatever I'm saying is definitely not financial advice, and make sure you go and do your own research. Now, there are 3 dates I would really recommend you to keep an eye on in January 2025. The first one is the CPI numbers, the second one is the FOMC meeting, and the third one is the inauguration of President Donald Trump when he's sworn in, because these 3 dates, guys, will directly and indirectly impact the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. Now let's run through the market cap, 24-hour trading volume and dominance between Bitcoin and Ethereum. Now unfortunately, guys, Bitcoin's market cap is well below the $2 trillion mark. It is at $1.86 trillion. Ethereum is at $405 billion. Now if you look at the dominance, guys, Bitcoin's dominance is down to 56.59%, whereas Ethereum's dominance has also gone down, and today it is at 12.49%. And if you look at Radium's 24-hour volume, guys, it does give an indication that a lot of activity is actually taking place in Solana blockchain. Now, if you look at the 24-hour trading volume, guys, Bitcoin's 24-hour trading volume is $23.08 billion, whereas Ethereum's 24-hour trading volume is $12.92 billion. Now, look, guys, the 24-hour trading volume is less in comparison to the volume of stablecoins, which just means, guys, a lot of people are buying stablecoins, and who's to say, guys, if we get any positive news, these stablecoins will be converted back into Bitcoin and Ethereum. Now, every day in my Crypto and Coffee Date podcast, guys, I tend to look at one different matrix. So in today's episode, I want to look at the market cap of stablecoins, because whether we like it or not, guys, stablecoin volume is actually what is keeping the cryptocurrency market active. And if you look at its market cap, guys, some of these numbers have grown exponentially since the last few years. Tether in particular, its market cap used to hover somewhere between the $40 to $60 billion mark, but today it is at $139 billion. So Tether USDT's market cap is at $139 billion, but as I mentioned, its 24-hour trading volume, it is almost 3 times of that of Bitcoin at $62.89 billion. This just shows how powerful Tether USDT is. Now, to answer this question, is Tether USDT more powerful than Bitcoin? I really can't make any comment at this point of time, but look, guys, when you talk about stablecoins, according to me, they definitely do not follow the ethos of open blockchain. Stablecoins, according to me, are just replacing the role of a bank, but at the same time, they definitely have brilliant use cases as well. Especially in terms of volatility, it is kind of like a safe haven. Now, the number second so far as the market cap of stablecoin is concerned is Circle USDC, and its market cap is at $43.60 billion. Ethereum with an E is at number 3rd, and its market cap is at $5.89 billion. Now, just few weeks ago, guys, Ethereum was at number 5th so far as market cap is concerned, and back then Sky Dollar was at number 3rd, but looks like Sky Dollar's volume has taken a hit, but its market cap is still about the $5 billion mark. It is at $5.27 billion. Now, Sky Dollar, guys, is kind of like a rebranded version of MakerDAO, and if DeFi were to go mainstream, guys, Sky Dollar has to be the ChatGPT moment for the DeFi world. Now they did go live somewhere in November. Unfortunately guys, looks like the numbers are not looking that good to be honest. So it's going to be really interesting to see if DeFi has a resurgence so far as the volume is concerned. Now the number 5 so far as the market cap is concerned is MakerDAO's DAI, and its market cap is at $3.43 billion. Now guys, let's look at the king of all kings, that is Bitcoin. And Bitcoin's price is well below the $100,000 mark. It is at $94,479. And since the last 24 hours, it is down by 0.05%. And since the last 7 days, it is down by 0.82%. Now look guys, the only reason why the price of Bitcoin has gone down is because of mainstream media putting out a completely different narrative regarding the FOMC meeting. So what I'd really recommend you to do is guys, I have released a standalone episode where me and my good friend of mine, that is Marcus and Tito, we did actually go live via LinkedIn and we shared our thoughts and opinion as to what is wrong with the narrative surrounding the FOMC meeting. And I've said this thing over and over again guys, watch the FOMC meeting, and that particular video is live at the Federal Reserve Board channel. And based on my understanding guys, what Jerome Powell has done should be great for the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. Unfortunately, it is the mainstream media who has put out a completely different narrative, and it is only because of that the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies have gone down. But look guys, if you agree to my assessment or disagree to it, mention them in the comments below. But before that, what I'd really recommend you to do is go ahead and listen to the FOMC meeting by Jerome Powell, and then listen to our explanation and give me your honest thoughts, because I've said this over and over again guys. Federal Chair Jerome Powell reducing the interest rate should definitely be good not just for the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency market, but even for the stock market world. But the mainstream media has put out a completely fake and different narrative. Now if you look at the price of Ethereum, just few weeks ago it was about the $4,000 mark, but right now it has gone well below the $3,500 mark. It is at $3,368, and since the last 24 hours it is down by 0.32%, but since the last 7 days it is up by 1.96%. XRP or Ripple guys has taken a massive hit. It is down to $2.16, and since the last 24 hours it is down by 0.82%, and since the last 7 days it is down by 2.84%. Now in the month of November guys, XRP or Ripple did actually pump up the highest. On a monthly basis, it was up by well over 360%, and that was because of the launch of the stablecoin as well. Now the stablecoin is launched, but the price of XRP is not looking that great. And later on guys, I'll also go ahead and discuss what is going on regarding meme coins. But before that guys, let me go ahead and discuss some really interesting news regarding Bitcoin, and this is to do with Covenant. But let me do one thing guys. Firstly, let me go ahead and explain what Covenant is in relation to Bitcoin. So when you talk about covenant in Bitcoin terms guys, a covenant in Bitcoin is like a set of rules or conditions that control how Bitcoin in a particular transaction can be used in the future. Now normally guys, when you send Bitcoin to someone, they can do whatever they want with it, isn't it? So you can send it to a friend, you can hold on to it, hodl it, or even go ahead and make any spending. What happens with Covenant? The sender can attach specific rules to Bitcoin. For example guys, the sender can limit where the Bitcoin can actually go, and in the Covenant the sender can send, and with Covenant the sender can actually state that Bitcoin can only be spent at these specific addresses. And more importantly guys, the sender can also control how it is spent. So the sender can set conditions stating that the Bitcoin can only be used for certain purposes, such as paying for services. Now imagine guys, if you have a family, you can give Bitcoins to your family and kids, and this would work similar to allowances, isn't it? But at the same time, you have more control over the spendings as well. So covenants essentially add programmability to Bitcoin transactions, making it possible to do more advanced things, such as ensuring that Bitcoins are used only in specific ways. For example, locked in a savings account, or let's say paying for Netflix subscriptions. And covenants guys also prevents the movement of funds to suspicious or unsafe locations, and they can also enable decentralized financial tools like lending, borrowing, or even swapping assets. So the big question is, why is Covenant important? Now look guys, this is a really controversial topic. Now one reason why it is important is because Covenant could make Bitcoin more flexible and powerful, allowing developers to create new applications and financial tools, while at the same time keeping it secure. However guys, the sender has more control over your funding, and if you look at it from a different point of view, a lot of the receivers won't be liking it, and many critics worry about the complexity and potential risks, making Bitcoin transactions harder to understand or introducing new vulnerabilities. And the news I'm talking about guys is making Bitcoin magical again, and Taproot Wizards, which is founded by Eric Wall, Udi Waltmere and Francisco Alcron, They have been at the forefront of combining digital art with Bitcoin innovation. Now, Yuri Weltmergas, who at one point of time was a massive Ethereum maximalist, but looks like he has taken a different turn regarding Bitcoin. And this particular group, guys, which is called as Taproot Wizards, they initially gained popularity through the collection of 2,108 JPEGs, which were inscribed on Bitcoin using Ordinals protocol, which is a novel method of creating NFTs on the Bitcoin blockchain. And their efforts, guys, included $7.5 million in seed funding round, which was amplified by the success of Quantum Cats, which is essentially a collection of 3,000 NFTs like digital art pieces that generated 300 Bitcoin, which is worth over $26 million as of today. And the Taproot Wizards, guys, are now shifting their focus towards advancing Bitcoin capabilities through a proposed protocol that is called as OpCat or OP_cat. Now, it's really important to understand, guys, that OpCat or OP_cat was originally introduced by Bitcoin's creator, that is Satoshi Nakamoto, but OpCat was removed from Bitcoin's early code due to concerns over potential memory inefficiencies and vulnerabilities. However, guys, Taproot Wizards do believe that OpCat's ability to enable governance rules dictating how transactions are processed could revolutionize Bitcoin's utility, and they argue that governance would allow for new features such as Bitcoin stablecoin swaps, Bitcoin-backed loans, cross-chain bridges, and enhanced Layer 2 applications, making Bitcoin more versatile and competitive with other blockchain ecosystems. And the Quantum Cats collection that was part of Taproot Wizards was launched as a marketing campaign to raise awareness and support this proposal. So what I want to do is, guys, I want to go ahead and highlight some of the positives as well as negatives of the OpCat protocol and governance. Now, regarding the positive, guys, I can think how it could enhance transaction functionality, because governance introduces programmable rules for transactions, and this opens the door to advanced use cases like atomic swaps, as well as decentralized finance applications on Bitcoin blockchain. And maybe you can also add stablecoin integration, because look, guys, OpCat protocol, according to me, could enable on-chain Bitcoin stablecoin trading, and this could expand Bitcoin's utility in financial ecosystem. And could it be possible to have cross-chain compatibility as well? Because look, by facilitating Bitcoin bridges to other blockchain, OpCat could integrate Bitcoin into broader multi-chain world, and this could actually enhance its adoption. And regarding Layer 2 innovation, guys, OpCat's programmability can drive the development of more efficient and secure Layer 2 solutions, such as faster payment channels and even smart contract capabilities. And at a broader level, guys, this could potentially have broader ecosystem appeal as well, because these upgrades make Bitcoin more competitive with other blockchain entities like Ethereum, and this might potentially attract developers and users. Now, one of the reasons why I partially agree to this, guys, is because Bitcoin initially used to work on something called as ECDSA, and it was the miners, the software developers, the centralized exchanges and users who decided to switch ECDSA to Taproot and signature. And because that thing is implemented, guys, we are in a position to go ahead and implement all these things on Bitcoin blockchain. Now, if you're someone who disagrees to it, so what was the whole purpose of having that upgrade? But another part of me always thinks, guys, let Bitcoin be left alone and let it just do what it is doing, isn't it? And why have all these unnecessary things? Now, I talked about the positives of the OpCat protocol and governance. Now, let me go ahead and share some negative things. Because look, guys, with so much of drama going on, particularly in the Bitcoin and cryptocurrency space, there is always security risk, isn't it? And the programmability of governance could actually introduce new vulnerabilities, potentially making Bitcoin more susceptible to exploitation if not implemented cautiously. And this idea of having programmability by the sender sounds great, but there is always complexity in implementation, and I very strongly feel, guys, introducing OpCat or OpCat would require significant changes to Bitcoin's code base, which could face resistance from the conservative Bitcoin developer community. And could it also lead to centralization? Because look, guys, advanced features like this might encourage the use of more complex infrastructure that could centralize control or require trusted intermediaries. Now, another thing which I worry, guys, is implementing OpCat protocol and governance. Could it actually increase the resource usage? Because critics do actually argue that implementing this could actually lead to higher memory and computation requirements, and this could actually affect Bitcoin's decentralization and accessibility. And right now, guys, the community is really divided on this, and changes to Bitcoin's core protocol often sparks debate within the community. So it's going to be really interesting to see, guys, what Bitcoin maximalists have to say regarding this. So the only thing I can say is that the Taproot Wizards are forced to introduce OpCat and push for Bitcoin upgrades do actually reflect a bold vision of making Bitcoin more versatile and competitive. and they want to make Bitcoin magical again. But at the same time, guys, we need to understand that while the proposed benefits are significant, including stablecoin integration, DeFi compatibility and multi-chain bridges, the potential risks and challenges cannot be ignored, and there are so many security concerns and risks as well, and implementing it could be a complex task, and there will be some really strong resistance by Bitcoin OGs, as well as the communities involved with them. And as discussion around this continues, guys, the success of these proposals will depend on finding a balance between innovation and Bitcoin's core principle of simplicity and decentralization. Let me know, guys, what are your thoughts regarding this. Me personally, I would say 10% I'm in favor of it, but 80% of me does not want this thing to be implemented. But it's got to be really interesting to see, guys, what is the community's outcome regarding this. Now, guys, let's go ahead and discuss second news, and this is to do with Bitcoin again. And Bitwise, guys, they have filed for approval to launch the Bitcoin Standard Corporation ETF. And the way how this Bitcoin Standard Corporation ETF is designed, guys, is to track companies holding over 1,000 Bitcoin as a reserve asset. And here's the interesting thing to remember. The fund aims to provide investor exposure to major Bitcoin holding companies like MicroStrategy, Marathon Digital, and Tesla, and they will be doing that without directly owning individual stocks, and the ETF would invest at least 80% of its asset in these companies. Now, it's really important to note, guys, while limited by the small number of firms meeting the criteria, this move reflects growing interest in corporate Bitcoin adoption, and their competitors have recently filed for a similar proposal, and looks like all of the companies are emphasizing Bitcoin as hedge against inflation and global economic challenges as well. So it's going to be really interesting to see, guys, if the SEC does go ahead and approve this. Now, based on my understanding, guys, the chances of this thing to be approved is significantly higher than a spot Bitcoin ETF, but let me know, guys, what are your thoughts regarding this. Now, the next news, guys, I'm going to be talking about has to do with Do Kwon, and we know the collapse of stablecoin that is Terra Luna, isn't it? And over $400 billion did actually wipe off from the global cryptocurrency market. Now, needless to say that he was one of the person responsible for the collapse, and there was an ongoing case regarding him in Montenegrin. But looks like the United States of America wants his case to be done in US, and there is unfortunate news for Do Kwon, guys, because Montenegro's justice, that is Minister Bojan, has approved Terraform Labs founder Do Kwon's extradition to the United States of America, and he will be facing criminal charges related to the 2022 collapse of Terra Luna stablecoin system. Now, both United States of America and South Korea had sought Do Kwon's extradition, but the decision followed Montenegro's Supreme Court ruling in favor of the United States of America. And Do Kwon was arrested in 2023 in Montenegro, and this was for password forgery. Now, it's going to be really interesting to see what the update to this is. Now, look, guys, when Do Kwon was actually buying a lot of Bitcoin, a lot of the Bitcoin maximalists did actually support his idea, but the moment stablecoin collapsed, even the Bitcoin maximalists started hating him. Now, based on my research and understanding, guys, the stablecoin was actually great, but it was some notorious players that tried to manipulate the market, and unfortunately, because of that, he's got a lot of blame. But at the same time, guys, there were some activities done by him just moments before the collapse, and that is one of the reasons why there's so much of legal problem. So me personally, I'm 50-50% on this. 50% I do think he should face charges, but the other 50% is because of the notorious nature in the cryptocurrency world, in my honest opinion. Now, guys, let's go ahead and discuss Memecoin in the world of December. Now, in the month of December, guys, Memecoin did actually surge to $137 billion, but it has taken a massive hit, and it is down to $92 billion. So if you look at Memecoin, guys, it did actually record $40 billion. Now, if you do want detailed information regarding this, Cointelegraph has published a detailed report, and they talked about Pepecoin in particular, where the price has spiked up after Binance US listing, and the market cap of Pepecoin, guys, did actually reach $11 billion, and it did actually overtake Uniswap's market cap as well. But it looks like Pepecoin's market cap has gone down, but the difference isn't that big, to be honest, guys. Pepe's market cap is significantly higher than Litecoin's market cap as well. And right now, while Coin market cap, Pepe's market cap is at $7.53 billion, whereas Uniswap is at $7.88 billion. Now, December definitely has some massive movements in Memecoin world, isn't it? Now, there's some really interesting information regarding massive gains, guys, and what this report actually states, that some traders saw humongous profits. Like one instance, they have given an amount of $3,000 investment, which did actually turn to $46 million in the year. And there is also a dormant wallet which invested $27, and that recorded a 1.9 million staggering return. So it looks like that particular dormant wallet made a staggering amount of profit, isn't it? Now, based on these numbers, guys, I'm inspired to go ahead and start trading on meme coins as well. But look, guys, truth be told, I don't do any trading whatsoever. And regarding December, guys, meme coin momentum has slowed down drastically as well. And these are some of the dangers and negatives of the cryptocurrency world. So these were the newscasts in the Bitcoin, cryptocurrency and blockchain world. Now let's look at two news from Dubai, UAE and the Middle East. And both the newscasts are connected to artificial intelligence. And the first news is regarding environmental agency. And Abu Dhabi has partnered with Nabat, and they want to conserve and restore mangroves in the emirate using artificial intelligence technologies. So let me go ahead and give out more information, guys, because this partnership aligns with the Year of Sustainability and Abu Dhabi Mangrove Initiative, and the Environment Agency, that is Abu Dhabi EAD, has partnered with Nabat, which is a climatic venture by ATRCS Venture 1, and they want to conserve and restore mangroves using artificial intelligence. And this agreement, guys, was signed at the inaugural International Mangrove Conservation and Restoration Conference, which is also called as IMCRC, and His Excellency Faisal Al-Banai, who is the ATRC Secretary General, and Her Excellency Dr. Sheikh Salim Al-Dhahri, the Emirate Agency of Abu Dhabi Secretary General, signed the agreement. And EAD, guys, also called as Environmental Agency of Abu Dhabi, provides ecological expertise, including insights into mangrove restoration, ecological requirements and site selection. And Nabat, they develop and deploy AI-powered and autonomous robotics technologies to optimize mangrove restoration. And this partnership focuses on leveraging AI and robotics for efficient, data-driven mangrove restoration, and advanced technologies aims to enhance effectiveness, efficiency, and accuracy in restoration efforts. And this initiative, guys, addresses environmental degradation and contributes to global climate change mitigation efforts. And Abu Dhabi, guys, strengthens its position as a global hub for technological innovations, particularly in environmental conservation. And the project aims to set a global benchmark for ecological restoration through technology, and the use of autonomous robotics demonstrate the potential of data-driven approaches in conservation. And the collaboration, guys, encourages other tech innovators to invest in sustainable solutions. And this partnership, guys, highlights the integration of advanced technology with ecological restoration strategies, and it does demonstrate Abu Dhabi's commitment to sustainability and combating climate change. And this particular project emphasizes the importance of partnership between tech and environmental sectors. And Faisal Al-Banai's statement, guys, emphasizes the importance of mangroves for planetary health and the role of data-driven solution in conservation. And Dr. Sheikh Al-Dhahri's statement highlights the transformative impact of merging technologies with ecological expertise, reinforcing Abu Dhabi's leadership in sustainability. So I really am liking this news, guys, where artificial intelligence is merging with sustainability. Definitely a brilliant news from the capital of United Arab Emirates. Now the second news, guys, also is connected to Abu Dhabi, an ISG accelerator. They've expanded into Middle East with Abu Dhabi entity establishment. So let me go ahead and give out more information regarding this, because IESG, guys, is an AI big data driven ESG solution provider, and they've established a joint venture in Abu Dhabi, United Arab Emirates. And this move, guys, marks a significant step in IESG's expansion into Middle Eastern sector. And IESG plans to initiate proof of concept projects with public and private sector entities in United Arab Emirates to solidify its presence. And the company, guys, addresses challenges related to complex ESG regulations through tailored data management solutions. And IESG solutions are built on insights from over 100 corporate interviews. And the company has successfully validated the solution across 5 countries, that is UAE, United States of America, Singapore, Japan and Australia as well. And now ESG, guys, they leverage AI and big data technologies to streamline ESG data collection, monitoring, as well as improvement processes. And the Abu Dhabi entity, guys, aims to provide ESG solutions tailored to unique needs of the Middle Eastern market. And IESG has also participated in GITEX for 3 consecutive years, and they also featured an expert panel. And the company has also collaborated with UAE's MOCCAE and GGGIE on ESG policy projects, and they were the only private sector digital ESG solutions provider. And IESG, guys, is in discussion with leading local energy firms to enhance ESG data management in oil and gas and power sectors. And collaboration with financial and platform companies is underway to co-develop sustainability-focused services. And the COSA, that is Korean Software Industry Association, has also supported IESG's market validation and entry efforts. And the CEO, that is Belkin, highlighted government and industry support as crucial for accelerating market entry, and their strategic goal aims to become leading ESG solutions provider in the Middle East. And they also have public and private collaboration, guys, and the company seeks to bridge collaboration across public and private sectors in the region. And IESG is committed to advancing sustainability-focused services and ESG compliance in the Middle East. So definitely brilliant news. And since the last 3 weeks, guys, all the news, be it artificial intelligence or even blockchain technology, is connected from the Emirate of Abu Dhabi. And it's needless to say, guys, while Larry Fink, the CEO of BlackRock, did actually make a statement that Abu Dhabi will be the capital of the world in the world of cryptocurrencies and artificial intelligence. So brilliant news in my opinion. And that's about all, guys, on the Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, blockchain and artificial intelligence world from Blockchain DXB. In case if you like listening to this podcast, please click on the follow button, give it a 5-star rating and share the word across. Now for the next few minutes is going to be an Ask Me Anything series, where you listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. So let's get started with the Ask Me Anything series. Hey everyone, it's George from Blockchain DXB listening to the Ask Me Anything series, where you listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. I have a question by Kim who asks, can AI-driven projects like mangrove restoration redefine the role of blockchain in environmental conservation? What are your thoughts? My honest thoughts, Kim, regarding that is no. I don't see a role of blockchain technology, at least now, because look, whether we like it or not, blockchain technology, according to me, has very limited use cases. But what a lot of companies are doing is, because of the prices of Bitcoin pumping up, and because blockchain technology is the buzzword, a lot of them are actually promoting blockchain technology in the news. But for news such as mangrove restoration, which is a relatively smaller area, and it is not connected to other parts of the world, I personally don't see any reason as to why you should be using blockchain technology. Because look, when you talk about mangrove restoration within United Arab Emirates, it is still a relatively small area, and that would be much better done, let's say, if it is done by a centralized entity. Now, I'm really liking the initiative by Environmental Agency of Abu Dhabi, also EAD, and according to me, Kim, it will work much better if it is done in a centralized way, because look, we don't need blockchain technology for this, and there is absolutely no need for token as well. Now, I do remember roughly around a year ago, there was a project. What they wanted to do is, they wanted to have an NFT for every plant, and their whole idea was that you can track the progress of this plant using blockchain technology. The idea sounds great, but according to me, Kim, implementing it does not make absolutely any sense. So to answer your question, can AI-driven projects like mangrove restoration redefine the role of blockchain? Me personally, I don't think so. There is absolutely any use for using blockchain technology. I think it is much better to focus here on a centralized system. And in the month of January, Kim, I'm also launching a series of debate, and the title is, does blockchain technology need artificial intelligence, or does artificial intelligence need blockchain technology? And I've been saying this over and over again. So far as artificial intelligence is concerned, it would work much better if it is centralized, but at the same time, there are dangers associated with it as well. And the classic example I can think of is Notebook LM by Google. It is extremely left-leaning. Now, there is a simple solution to that, Kim. If we make the source code of AI completely open source, something similar to what XAI is doing regarding Grok, that solves 100% of the problem, and you don't need artificial intelligence merging with blockchain technology in my opinion. But nonetheless, in the debate series, I'll go ahead and have more in-depth discussion regarding this, but definitely an interesting question. And that's about all, guys, from the Ask Me Anything series on Blockchain DXB. In case if you like listening to this podcast, please click on the follow button, give it a 5-star rating and share the word across. Remember, Monday to Thursdays, 8 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. we have Crypto with Coffee podcast, where we cover top news and information pertaining to the price of cryptocurrencies, some major breaking news, occasionally short and sweet news as well, news that has an impact on the cryptocurrency world. The other two news and information is related to Dubai, UAE and the Middle East, from the cryptocurrency, blockchain and now artificial intelligence world as well. And what you're listening to right now is the Ask Me Anything series, where you listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. So thanks so much for listening, guys, and have a great day ahead. Bye-bye.